Hi guys, it's Dr. Graham Walker, and today I'm going to demo building an EHR interface in minutes with generative AI tools. Imagine if doctors or nurses or social workers weren't so bogged down with little annoying personal tasks they have to get through every day, but instead of being stuck with rigid workflows, they could actually solve their own problems and create custom solutions to help them get through their day and help them take better care of their patients. They'd probably be more engaged and less burned down in their work. And voila, this idea came to fruition. So I'm calling it Sweat the Small Stuff. And I really think this is an opportunity for healthcare workers to kind of get back and claw back some control over the digital work that we do every day. You know, in the past, we've been passive users of the EHR. I'm a clinical informaticist, and still the EHR is not a perfect tool for anybody because we all have such unique, different ways of processing information and different work that we all do. What an ER doctor does is very different from a pathologist or an orthopedist or a cardiologist, yet we're all using the same general tools. These tools are generally designed by non-clinicians. We have rigid workflows on how we have to do things, and it leads to frustration and extra clicks and burnout. So I imagine a future where you could actually build your own interface or show information the way you want to see it. Physicians might have to learn to code, but these generative AI tools actually makes it way easier. I'm going to show you a demo in just a minute of actually building a tool just using English and not really coding at all. It would give us some more autonomy over our digital environments, and it'll help get rid of some of that frustration. So let's dive right in. I'm going to build a well baby nursery EHR documentation sheet, and I'm going to use a tool called Cursor. Cursor is a generative AI coding platform. You essentially just tell it what you want, and it'll build it. Now I've gone in here and I've taken some of the text so you don't just see me typing the whole time, but all I've done is tell Cursor, hey, I want to build a web page, and now I'm going to describe what I want it to do, and we'll build it together. This is, I'm recording this live. I actually don't know what Cursor is going to do because the few times I've tried this in rehearsal, it's created different things every time. So I'm going to ask it to create an interactive web page that allows the pediatrician to quickly generate a well baby nursery note so they can document on the numerous newborns that were born yesterday. The well baby nursery is where pediatricians will take care of babies that have just been born to make sure all their parts are working properly before they go home with their parents. Now I'm asking it to include all the standard information that a pediatrician might need to document. And because I'm super hyper focused on efficiency, I've said, make all the fields optional, and you should generate the note on the fly. So you don't have to click a submit button. That's the same thing we do on MD Calc. It's just one less click for the doctor. So let's go ahead and hit click submit. And now the generative AI tool's going to start coding, as you see here. This is all standard code that a web page needs to function. And as it's writing this code, it'll show up on the right side of the screen here, and then we'll build it out. Voila! So and we'll actually see what happens with this code. It's now adding some script here to be able to handle some interactivity. That's usually what a script is for on a web page. And let's see. Okay, so we're just going to accept all of these changes. And then the cool thing about these code editors is you can just click a button and it'll launch a web page here for you. Okay, so again, I've never seen this before. It made this note. Let's see how well it's working. Let's see. Baby walker. Male, mom was 35 when she had me, and I don't know, I think I was like 5 kilos. I was a big baby. And, let's say that the baby didn't have a fever and has a normal heart rate and respiratory rate of 40 and a SAT of 99%, and they're well developed, and this baby is cute. Voila. Now I could actually just copy this note and move on to the next patient. Okay, so that's a pretty good start, but let's change it a little bit. This is the beauty of these tools. This information here is nice, but let's say we need to add the medical record number. Let's add the MRN toward the top as well. Okay, so now I've just asked it to make some changes. It's going to go through the page and change the page for me. Now, again, I'm not doing anything here. I'm not. I'm not actually writing any code here. I'm just going to accept the code, and it's making several changes here on the page. And it's going to ask me if I want any other adjustments. So let's just try that. We'll accept that change here. And we'll accept this change here in the script area. And let's see. Okay, yeah, it redid the page immediately, and voila, the medical record is on here now. And now let's change it again. Let's say, hey, I want it prettier. Let's make it. Let's make this visually appealing to look at. Let's see if it can do that as well. Okay, I'll enhance the visual design with some nice colors, and I'll modify the HTML. And it's going to regenerate the code here. Okay, this is what's called cascading style sheets, and this is an additional type of code that adds colors and fonts and stuff like that to the page. And I'm just going to accept all these changes that it's making. Again, I don't, obviously, me, Graham, I know how to write web pages, but I actually am not doing any of that. I'm just accepting the changes, and let's see what it looks like now. Okay, oh, there's a cute little baby. It's rotating its head back and forth. And it added like a little shadow. Yeah, and it hovers. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I like that. Now let's actually add some programming features. Let's not just make this pretty and nice, but let's say that I have a way to actually get the patient's weight or their APGAR score in this URL, but I want it to actually fill in the form for me. So let's go back here and let's make one last change. Okay, I want to make it so that I can add the APGAR scores to the URL, and then it should pull in from the form immediately. So the idea here is if I type in, sometimes you see this on web pages. If you add question mark and then a variable, APGAR here, and then we're going to add two numbers since we usually check an APGAR at 1 minute and 5 minutes. And I want that to appear on the page. So let's see if it's done that. Certainly looks like it's doing so. Let's add those. Let's accept all these changes here. And let's see if that worked. Let's save the page and restart it. And then let's do APGARs. And look, okay, so we added the APGAR score here at the top. It filled them in here, and it added them to the page. So imagine if a doctor wanted a nursery note generator just like this, they could change this to their heart's desire. They could get this exactly the way they want it to look, the way they want information to flow in for them so that they can understand information clearly. And I just think that's a really amazing, potentially transformative way that we can reduce some burnout, improve people's responsiveness or appreciation for the EHR if they have that ability to control it without having to learn how to program. So, I think this is a potentially transformative opportunity. We obviously have to balance autonomy and standards, right? We can't have data in 50 different formats, but we could build tools with guardrails that say, let the physician or the nurse or the social worker do this, but make sure it's in this format when it gets written to the EHR. I think this potentially gives people a lot more autonomy and power and control back, which is something people are desperately looking for as they're getting burnt out and tired of practicing medicine. But if we don't allow people to do this, especially younger physicians who are going to grow up with these tools as part of their armamentarium, it could potentially create increasing frustration or discontent. So I think this is something that health systems are going to have to figure out how to handle in the future as new waves of medical students and residents will start to expect higher levels of control over their kind of digital environments. That is just the beginning. This is a really simple web page that we built. There are programmers who are building entire applications, entire web platforms, entire iPhone or Android apps just using these tools and just using English and trial and error. I don't even know if they would call themselves programmers because they're just using generative AI to fix all these problems and create databases. So I think this is a really interesting opportunity. I called it Sweat the Small Stuff because I am using these tools every single day to fix little annoyances in my life because generative AI tools give us these opportunities. This is Graham Walker. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.